Tonight, thousands of migrants spending what could be their final weeks in shelters across Chicago as the city's eviction deadline looms.
New footage of migrants moving to Chicago en masse has recently gone viral, capturing the attention of the nation. The arrival of over 35,000 migrants since 2022, primarily from Texas, has sparked intense debate and controversy. As residents and government officials grapple with the challenges of accommodating such a large number of newcomers, questions arise about the reasons behind this mass migration and who bears the financial burden of their arrival and departure. The mass migration. Chicago, known for its vibrant culture and diverse population, has found itself at the center of a major immigration crisis. In the summer of 2022, Texas Governor Greg Abbott made the controversial decision to bus migrants out of his state, and the consequences of this decision have reverberated throughout the country. Now, Chicago is grappling with the challenge of providing housing for the thousands of migrants, primarily from Venezuela, who have arrived in the city seeking a new home. This influx of migrants has stretched the city's resources thin, leading to protests, strained police districts, and mounting costs. One of the immediate challenges Chicago faced was the lack of suitable housing options. With the sudden influx of migrants, the city had to quickly identify and secure spaces that could accommodate the growing population. However, finding appropriate locations proved to be a daunting task. The initial plan to set up temporary housing in winterized tents on a vacant lot was abandoned after contaminants were discovered in the soil, posing a potential health risk to the migrants. This setback forced city officials to reassess their approach and seek alternative solutions. The shortage of available housing led to migrants seeking shelter in unconventional places. O'Hare International Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world, became an unexpected refuge for many migrants. The airport's terminals and concourses became makeshift living spaces, with families huddled together amidst the hustle and bustle of travelers. The airport staff, already burdened with their regular duties, had to navigate the complexities of providing basic necessities and ensuring the safety of the migrants within the airport premises. Another challenge Chicago faced was the strain on its police districts. As migrants sought shelter wherever they could find it, police stations became temporary havens for those in need. However, the influx of migrants overwhelmed the capacity of these stations, stretching resources thin and placing an additional burden on law enforcement. Police officers, already tasked with maintaining public safety, found themselves juggling the responsibilities of providing shelter and support to the migrants. The situation became increasingly untenable, prompting city officials to clear out the police stations and seek alternative arrangements. The financial burden of the crisis weighed heavily on Chicago's resources. Providing housing, healthcare, and other essential services for the migrants came at a significant cost. The city had to allocate substantial funds to address the immediate needs of the migrants, including securing temporary housing, providing medical assistance, and ensuring access to basic amenities. The strain on the city's budget was immense, with hundreds of millions of dollars being allocated to address the crisis. This financial strain further exacerbated the challenges faced by Chicago in effectively managing the situation. The strain on resources and the challenges of providing housing for the migrants took a toll on the patience and goodwill of many Chicago residents. Protests erupted at potential housing sites, with residents expressing concerns about the impact on their communities and the allocation of resources. Some residents in disinvested neighborhoods felt overlooked and demanded equal attention and support for their own communities. These protests highlighted the complex dynamics at play, with tensions arising between different groups and interests within the city. Amidst the challenges, Chicago's leaders sought to address the crisis with a spirit of collaboration and understanding. Mayor Brandon Johnson, elected just months before the crisis unfolded, acknowledged the magnitude of the international crisis inherited by the city. He emphasized the need for cooperation and urged residents to recognize the efforts being made to navigate the complexities of international policy, local ordinances, and the welfare of both the migrants and the Chicago community. Despite the difficulties, Chicago received offers of assistance from neighboring suburbs and churches. One neighboring suburb agreed to temporarily accommodate a portion of the migrants, providing some relief to the city. Churches stepped up to provide housing and support, demonstrating the power of community and solidarity in times of crisis. Additionally, the city of St. Louis expressed its willingness to resettle migrants with work permits, presenting an opportunity for collaboration and mutual benefit between the two cities. One of the most significant impacts of the migrant crisis has been the overwhelming burden on Chicago's healthcare system. The sudden influx of migrants, many of whom arrive with pre-existing health conditions and limited access to medical care, has placed a tremendous strain on hospitals, clinics, police, and healthcare providers. The need for medical attention, including routine checkups, vaccinations, and treatment for acute and chronic conditions, has skyrocketed. This surge in demand has led to longer wait times, overcrowded facilities, and stretched resources, making it increasingly challenging for both migrants and local residents to access the healthcare services they require. The strain on Chicago's educational system has also been profound. With the arrival of thousands of migrant children, the city's schools have had to accommodate an unprecedented number of new students. This sudden influx has put pressure on school capacities, resulting in overcrowded classrooms and stretched resources. Teachers and administrators have had to adapt quickly to meet the unique needs of these students, many of whom may have experienced trauma and disruption in their lives. The language barrier has posed an additional challenge, requiring additional support and resources to ensure effective communication and integration within the school system. The strain on Chicago's resources has not only impacted the city's infrastructure and services, but has also tested the patience and goodwill of its residents. As tensions rise and resources become scarce, there have been instances of social unrest and protests. Some residents, feeling overlooked or neglected, have voiced their concerns about the allocation of resources and the impact on their communities. These tensions highlight the need for effective communication, transparency, and equitable distribution of resources to ensure the well-being of both migrants and local residents. Despite the challenges, Chicago has demonstrated resilience and a commitment to finding solutions. The city has sought assistance from neighboring suburbs, churches, and other organizations to help alleviate the strain on its resources. Nevertheless, anti-immigrant sentiments have also emerged as a consequence of the migrant crisis. Some individuals, driven by fear, misinformation, or a sense of competition, have expressed hostility towards the migrants and called for stricter immigration policies. These sentiments have manifested in protests and public demonstrations, further highlighting the divisions within the community. The city has had to navigate the delicate balance of addressing the concerns of these individuals while upholding its commitment to inclusivity and compassion. The tensions within the community have been particularly evident in contentious city council meetings. Residents from disinvested neighborhoods, feeling marginalized and overlooked, have voiced their frustrations and demanded equal attention and resources for their own communities. These meetings have become platforms for residents to express their concerns about the allocation of funds and the perceived neglect of their needs. The city's leaders have had to navigate these complex dynamics, seeking to address the concerns of all residents while working towards a cohesive and inclusive solution. The migrant crisis has also highlighted disparities in access to benefits and opportunities. Longtime undocumented residents have voiced their desire for the same benefits, such as work permits, that were granted to the Venezuelan migrants by the Biden administration. This has sparked debates about fairness and equity, as well as discussions about the challenges faced by undocumented individuals who have long been part of the fabric of Chicago's communities. Balancing the needs and aspirations of different groups within the community has posed a significant challenge for city officials. Despite these tensions, there have also been instances of unity and support within the community. Churches and community organizations have stepped up to provide housing, resources, and support to both migrants and local residents. These acts of solidarity demonstrate the power of community and the resilience of Chicago's residents in times of crisis. They serve as a reminder that, despite the challenges and divisions, there is a shared commitment to compassion and inclusivity that can help bridge the gaps and foster understanding. Chicago's leaders, including Mayor Brandon Johnson, have emphasized the importance of coalition building and understanding in addressing the tensions within the community. Efforts have also been made to collaborate with other cities facing similar challenges. Recognizing that the migrant crisis extends beyond Chicago's borders, the city has engaged in dialogue and information sharing with cities such as New York, Denver, and Los Angeles. These exchanges have allowed for the sharing of best practices, lessons learned, and innovative solutions. By learning from the experiences of other cities, Chicago has been able to adapt and refine its own approach to better meet the needs of the migrants in the community. In addition to seeking assistance, Chicago has actively advocated for federal support and intervention. Recognizing the magnitude of the crisis and the strain on its resources, the city has called on the federal government to provide additional funding, resources, and guidance. This advocacy has been particularly crucial in light of the upcoming Democratic National Convention scheduled to take place in Chicago in 2024. The city aims to address the migrant crisis comprehensively before the international spotlight turns to the Windy City. Immigration in the U.S. The immigration issue in the United States has become a topic of increasing concern and debate among Americans. In a recent poll conducted by PBS NewsHour/NPR/Marist, it was revealed that support for the country's openness to people from all over the world has been eroding. While a majority of U.S. adults still believe that welcoming others is essential to the fabric of the nation, there has been a significant decline in this sentiment since July 2021. This decline in support for openness to others has coincided with a battle over immigration in Congress, where a $118.3 billion immigration deal has been declared dead. The deal aimed to address issues such as enhanced border security, assistance to refugees, and a massive overhaul of the nation's asylum system. However, the current state of immigration laws in the U.S. has been a source of frustration, as they do not align with the needs of the economy, labor market, or an aging society. As the immigration debate continues, it is clear that Americans are divided on the issue, and the future of immigration policy remains uncertain. Throughout its history, the United States has been a nation built by immigrants. From its very foundation, the country has welcomed people from all corners of the globe, seeking better opportunities and a chance at the American dream. The story of immigration in the U.S. is a complex and multifaceted one, shaped by waves of arrivals and the ever-changing policies and attitudes towards those who seek to make America their home. In the early years of the nation, immigrants primarily came from Europe, with the majority hailing from countries such as Ireland, Germany, and Italy. They arrived in search of economic opportunities, religious freedom, and a chance to escape political turmoil. These early immigrants played a crucial role in shaping the country's infrastructure, contributing to the growth of industries such as mining, agriculture, and manufacturing. However, as the U.S. expanded westward, the issue of immigration became increasingly contentious. The Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 marked the first significant restriction on immigration, targeting Chinese laborers who were seen as a threat to American workers. This act set a precedent for future immigration policies that would favor certain groups while excluding others. In the early 20th century, a new wave of immigrants arrived on American shores, primarily from Southern and Eastern Europe. This influx of newcomers, often fleeing poverty and persecution, led to a rise in nativist sentiment and calls for stricter immigration controls. The Immigration Act of 1924, also known as the Johnson-Reed Act, imposed strict quotas on immigration, favoring immigrants from Western Europe while severely limiting those from other regions. The mid-20th century saw a shift in immigration patterns with the passage of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. This landmark legislation abolished the discriminatory national origins quota system and introduced a new preference system based on family reunification and employment skills. As a result, immigration from Asia, Africa, and Latin America increased significantly, diversifying the country's population and contributing to its cultural richness. Today, the issue of immigration remains a hotly debated topic in the United States. The country continues to grapple with questions of border security, economic impact, and the integration of newcomers into American society. As the nation moves forward, it must confront these challenges while staying true to its historical legacy as a land of opportunity and a beacon of hope for those seeking a better life. The economic impact of immigration in the United States has been a topic of great debate and scrutiny. Supporters argue that immigrants contribute to the country's economic growth, while critics express concerns about job competition and strain on public resources. Understanding the complexities of this issue requires a closer look at the data and the various ways in which immigrants contribute to the U.S. economy. First and foremost, immigrants play a vital role in filling labor market gaps. Many industries, such as agriculture, construction, and hospitality, heavily rely on immigrant workers to meet their labor needs. Immigrants often take on jobs that native-born Americans are less willing to do, contributing to the overall productivity and efficiency of these sectors. Moreover, immigrant entrepreneurs have made significant contributions to the U.S. economy. According to the National Foundation for American Policy, more than half of the billion-dollar startup companies in the United States have at least one immigrant founder. These companies create jobs, drive innovation, and contribute to economic growth. Additionally, immigrants are consumers who contribute to local economies. They rent homes, buy goods and services, and pay taxes, all of which stimulate economic activity. According to a study by the New American Economy, immigrant households contributed $405 billion in federal taxes and $104 billion in state and local taxes in 2018. Furthermore, immigrants are more likely to start small businesses, which are crucial for job creation. According to the Small Business Administration, immigrants are 30% more likely to start a business than native-born Americans. These businesses not only create jobs, but also contribute to the vibrancy and diversity of local communities. However, it is important to acknowledge that there are also costs associated with immigration. Providing public services such as education and healthcare to a growing population can strain resources. It is crucial for policymakers to address these challenges and ensure that the benefits of immigration are maximized while mitigating any potential negative impacts. Thus, the economic impact of immigration in the United States is complex and multifaceted. While there are valid concerns about job competition and resource allocation, the evidence suggests that immigrants play a crucial role in filling labor market gaps, driving entrepreneurship, and contributing to economic growth. Balancing the economic benefits and costs of immigration requires thoughtful policy considerations that take into account the unique circumstances of the country and its diverse population. Still, the cultural contributions of immigrants in the United States have played a significant role in shaping the nation's identity and enriching its diverse tapestry. From food and music to language and traditions, immigrants have brought their unique cultural heritage, creating a vibrant and dynamic society. One of the most visible ways in which immigrants have influenced American culture is through their culinary traditions. Restaurants serving dishes from around the world can be found in every corner of the country, offering a taste of different cultures and expanding the culinary landscape. From Italian pizza and Chinese stir-fry to Mexican tacos and Indian curry, these diverse flavors have become an integral part of American cuisine. Music is another area where immigrants have made profound contributions. From the jazz and blues of African American communities to the salsa and merengue of Latin America, immigrant musicians have introduced new sounds and rhythms that have shaped American music. Artists like Bob Marley, Carlos Santana, and Gloria Estefan have become cultural icons, blending their cultural roots with American influences to create unique musical genres. Language is also an important aspect of cultural contributions. Immigrant communities often maintain their native languages, preserving their cultural heritage and passing it on to future generations. This linguistic diversity adds depth and richness to the American cultural landscape, fostering a sense of multiculturalism and promoting cross-cultural understanding. Moreover, immigrants have brought with them a wealth of artistic and literary traditions. Writers like Vladimir Nabokov, Isabel Allende, and Junot Diaz have enriched American literature with their unique perspectives and storytelling techniques. Artists such as Frida Kahlo, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and Yayoi Kusama have made significant contributions to the visual arts, challenging traditional notions of art and inspiring new artistic movements. Beyond these specific contributions, immigrants have also influenced American society by promoting tolerance, diversity, and acceptance. Their experiences of leaving their homelands, adapting to a new culture, and building new lives serve as a reminder of the resilience and strength of the human spirit. Immigrants have helped shape the American narrative, reminding us of the values of inclusivity and the pursuit of the American dream. Nevertheless, while immigration has been a fundamental part of the United States' history and identity, it is not without its challenges and controversies. The issue of immigration has become increasingly divisive, with debates centering around border security, economic impact, and cultural assimilation. One of the main challenges is the question of border security. Advocates for stricter immigration policies argue that a secure border is necessary to protect national security and prevent illegal entry. They argue that a lack of control over the border can lead to criminal activity and strain public resources. On the other hand, proponents of more lenient immigration policies emphasize the importance of humanitarian considerations and the need to provide refuge for those fleeing violence and persecution. The economic impact is another contentious aspect of the immigration debate. Critics argue that immigrants, particularly those who enter the country illegally, take jobs away from native-born Americans and drive down wages. They express concerns about the strain on public resources, such as healthcare and education, and the potential for increased competition for limited resources. However, proponents of immigration highlight the economic contributions of immigrants, such as filling labor market gaps, starting businesses, and stimulating economic growth. Cultural assimilation is also a topic of controversy. Some argue that immigrants should fully assimilate into American society, adopting the language and customs of their new country. They express concerns about the preservation of American values and the potential for cultural fragmentation. However, others emphasize the importance of cultural diversity and the contributions that immigrants' unique backgrounds and traditions bring to the fabric of American society. Furthermore, the issue of undocumented immigration poses significant challenges. The presence of millions of undocumented immigrants in the United States has led to debates about legal status, deportation, and pathways to citizenship. Finding a balance between enforcing immigration laws and providing a fair and humane approach to addressing the status of undocumented immigrants remains a complex and contentious issue. Immigration policies in the U.S. Immigration policies have a profound impact on families and communities in the United States. The enforcement and implementation of these policies can result in significant social, economic, and emotional consequences for individuals and the communities they belong to. One of the key impacts of immigration policies is family separation. Strict enforcement measures, such as deportations and detention, can lead to the separation of families, causing immense emotional distress and disrupting the stability of communities. Children are particularly vulnerable in these situations, as they may be separated from their parents or caregivers, resulting in long-lasting psychological and emotional trauma. Moreover, immigration policies can create a climate of fear and uncertainty within immigrant communities. The fear of deportation and family separation can deter individuals from accessing essential services such as healthcare and education out of fear of being identified and targeted. This can have detrimental effects on the overall well-being and integration of immigrant communities, as well as hinder their contributions to society. Additionally, immigration policies can impact the economic fabric of communities. Immigrants, regardless of their legal status, play a vital role in the labor market, contributing to industries such as agriculture, construction, and hospitality. Restrictive policies that limit opportunities for legal immigration can result in labor shortages and hinder economic growth in these sectors. Furthermore, the deportation of undocumented immigrants can disrupt local economies as businesses lose valuable workers and consumers. The impact of immigration policies extends beyond individual families and communities. It can also shape the perception and attitudes towards immigrants in society. Harsh enforcement measures and anti-immigrant rhetoric can contribute to stigmatization and discrimination, creating divisions within communities and undermining social cohesion. It is crucial to recognize the human impact of immigration policies and consider the well-being of families and communities when formulating and implementing immigration laws. Balancing the need for national security and economic considerations with compassion and respect for human rights is essential to create policies that promote inclusivity, social integration, and the overall welfare of society. However, immigration has played a significant role in shaping the demographic landscape of the United States. Throughout its history, the country has experienced waves of immigration that have contributed to its diversity and population growth. Understanding the impact of immigration on demographics is crucial for comprehending the social, cultural, and economic dynamics of the nation. One of the most evident ways in which immigration has influenced demographics is through population growth. Immigrants and their descendants have been a driving force behind the country's population expansion. According to the Pew Research Center, immigrants and their U.S.-born children accounted for 55% of the population growth from 1965 to 2015. This growth has had far-reaching implications for various aspects of society, including labor markets, education, and healthcare. Furthermore, immigration has played a crucial role in shaping the racial and ethnic composition of the United States. Immigrants come from diverse backgrounds, representing a wide range of racial and ethnic groups. This diversity has contributed to the multicultural fabric of American society, enriching it with different languages, traditions, and perspectives. The United States is often referred to as a melting pot, or a nation of immigrants, due to the blending of various cultures and ethnicities. Immigration has also had a significant impact on the age structure of the population. Many immigrants arrive in the United States in their prime working years, contributing to the labor force and supporting economic growth. Additionally, immigrants have higher fertility rates compared to native-born Americans, which has contributed to the overall youthfulness of the immigrant population and consequently the nation as a whole. Moreover, immigration has played a role in shaping regional demographics. Certain areas of the country, such as California, Texas, and New York, have historically been major destinations for immigrants, resulting in diverse and multicultural communities. These regions have experienced demographic shifts, with immigrant populations contributing to their economic vitality, cultural vibrancy, and social fabric. Now let's discuss the political implications of the immigration issue in the United States. The immigration issue in the United States has significant political implications, shaping the discourse, policies, and electoral landscape of the nation. It is a topic that has been at the forefront of political debates, with politicians and parties taking various stances on immigration to appeal to their constituents and advance their agendas. One of the key political implications of the immigration issue is its ability to mobilize voters. Immigration policies and debates have the power to energize and galvanize both supporters and opponents. For some voters, immigration is a defining issue that influences their political preferences and party affiliations. Politicians often use strong rhetoric and policy proposals related to immigration to appeal to their base and rally support. The immigration issue also has the potential to shape electoral outcomes. In areas with significant immigrant populations, the stance of political candidates on immigration immigration can sway voter preferences. Candidates who advocate for more lenient immigration policies may attract support from immigrant communities and their allies, while those who take a stricter stance may appeal to voters concerned about border security and economic impact. Furthermore, the immigration issue has been a source of polarization and division within the political landscape. It has become a wedge issue that can deepen partisan divides and contribute to the polarization of public opinion. The differing views on immigration policies often align with broader ideological and cultural differences, further fueling political polarization. The political implications of the immigration issue extend beyond elections and party politics. Immigration policies and debates can shape public opinion, influence policy agendas, and impact the legislative process. Public sentiment and political pressure can drive policymakers to enact changes in immigration laws, either to tighten or loosen restrictions, depending on the prevailing political climate. In recent years, the immigration issue has been a focal point of national attention, with significant policy debates and legislative efforts. The outcome of these debates and the resulting policies can have far-reaching consequences for the nation's future, including its economic growth, social cohesion, and international standing. In conclusion, the immigration issue in the United States carries significant political implications. It has the power to mobilize voters, shape electoral outcomes, contribute to political polarization, and influence policy agendas. As the nation continues to grapple with the complexities of immigration, it is essential for policymakers and citizens alike to consider the political implications and work towards comprehensive and balanced solutions that address the concerns of all stakeholders. But still, public opinion on immigration in the United States has evolved over time, reflecting the changing social, economic, and political dynamics of the nation. Understanding the historical and current perspectives on immigration is crucial for comprehending the complexities of the issue and the challenges it presents. Historically, the United States has been a nation built by immigrants, and public opinion has generally been favorable towards immigration. The country has prided itself on being a land of opportunity and a beacon of hope for those seeking a better life. However, public opinion has not always been uniform, and there have been periods of heightened nativism and anti-immigrant sentiment. In the early 20th century, for example, there was a rise in anti-immigrant sentiment, particularly towards immigrants from Southern and Eastern Europe. This led to the implementation of restrictive immigration laws, such as the Immigration Act of 1924, which favored immigrants from Western Europe and severely limited immigration from other regions. In recent years, public opinion on immigration has become more polarized. There are varying views on issues such as border security, undocumented immigration, and the economic impact of immigrants. Some argue for stricter immigration policies to protect national security and economic interests, while others advocate for more lenient policies that prioritize humanitarian considerations and the contributions of immigrants. Public opinion on immigration is often influenced by political rhetoric, media coverage, and personal experiences. Economic factors such as job competition and wage concerns can also shape public attitudes towards immigration. Additionally, cultural and demographic changes in local communities can influence how individuals perceive and respond to immigration. According to recent polls, public opinion on immigration remains divided. While a majority of Americans still believe that immigration is essential to the fabric of the nation, there has been a decline in support for openness to others. Views on immigration often align with political affiliation, with Democrats generally more supportive of lenient immigration policies and Republicans favoring stricter measures. It is important to note that public opinion on immigration is not static and can change over time. Shifting demographics, economic conditions, and political developments can all influence public attitudes towards immigration. As the nation continues to grapple with the complexities of immigration, understanding and engaging with public opinion is crucial for shaping policies that reflect the values and aspirations of the American people. It's because of this that comprehensive immigration reform is of paramount importance in the United States, as it addresses the complexities and challenges of the immigration system while recognizing the contributions and humanity of immigrants. Such reform is necessary to create a fair, efficient, and humane immigration system that aligns with the values and aspirations of the nation. First and foremost, comprehensive immigration reform is crucial for addressing the issue of undocumented immigration. It provides an opportunity to establish a clear pathway to legal status and citizenship for undocumented immigrants who have contributed to American society and have deep roots in their communities. This not only recognizes their humanity, but also promotes social integration and economic stability. Additionally, comprehensive immigration reform is essential for enhancing border security. It allows for the allocation of resources and the implementation of effective measures to secure the borders while facilitating the legal flow of goods, services, and individuals. By streamlining the immigration process, reform can help reduce the incentives for illegal border crossings and ensure that border enforcement enforcement is targeted and efficient. Moreover, comprehensive immigration reform addresses the economic needs of the nation. It provides mechanisms to attract and retain highly skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators who contribute to economic growth and job creation. Reform also recognizes the importance of low-skilled workers in industries that face labor shortages, ensuring that the labor market remains robust and competitive. So in conclusion, comprehensive immigration reform is essential for creating a fair, efficient, and inclusive immigration system that upholds American values and meets the needs of a diverse and dynamic nation. Thanks for watching. Click on the videos on your screen for similar content.